in politics, Amani National Congress Party leader Musalia Mudavadi has called for the establishment of an independent debt management authority to tame the borrowing by the Jubilee government. Mudavadi claims that Jubilee government has been functioning as a secret society in terms of borrowing, and thus it must be kept in check. He said Jubilee must tell Kenyans the true level of the country's indebtedness and detailed terms and conditions around each debt.
Amani National Congress leader Musalia Mudavadi, a man who has been seen to outrightly scoff at Jubilee government for their huge appetite for borrowing debt, has now come out to call for the formation of an independent debt management authority to halt the reckless borrowing of the Jubilee government.
Time has come when we must now establish an independent public debt management authority. The authority must regulate and manage our present debt and future borrowing. It must move us away from the present arrangement where borrowing is handled as if it is a function of a secret society.
The puzzle, however, is that there exist no laws to support the formation of the authority, and if the numbers of ANC party in parliament are anything to go by, that may portend the call for the formation of the body might fizzle out due to lack of numbers.
I like to believe that good legislation does not necessarily have to be partisan. Good legislation, and if it is for the good of the country, and indeed we have a crisis of debt, I will have no problem whether such a motion is being promoted or sponsored by an ANC member or an ODM member or a Jubilee member. I would not have a problem. What we want is good legislation to help us tame the debt that is becoming unbearable.
Mudavadi says the Debt Management Authority will help the country move from the status quo where borrowing is handled as a function of secret authority. He added that with the current democratic space, the government should not conceal issues of public interest, including borrowing.
This day and age of open governance, government can no longer behave as if it is a secret society. The famous word, serikali, sirikali. And especially not when it is borrowing funds to be repaid by the citizens.
The ANC leader further punch holds on to President Uhuru Kenyatta's recent State of the Nation address. Mudavadi claims the president painted a picture of all is well, yet the country was in a crisis.
The head of state's address was a damper that left many of us wondering whether he lives in this country or somewhere else. He must use this year's Madaraka Day to redeem himself.
On corruption, Mudavadi wondered why an individual who has been associated with corruption was sitting in the cabinet, while another was crisscrossing the country, flaunting ill-gotten money, as 8.5 million young people were unemployed or underemployed. Sentiments by ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi, who has been termed as the de facto opposition leader, seems to intimate that the country is about to sink due to public debt. The concern, however, is what or who will tame the Jubilee government in terms of uptake of public loans. Irene Mwangi, KUTV, Nairobi.